Dear black people, stop calling yourself black people. The term black comes from the Dutch term blank, which means void. I had a family member in South Africa during apartheid. They would put no blanks allowed. Blanke, like Blanco. It's mind numbing that blank is black somehow, or void. So let's just get beyond that. There's really three types of people: Caucasoid, Negroid, Mongoloid. Regardless of the shade, we are all melanated people or carbonated, however you want to look at it. Carbon is melanin, or melanin is carbon, or dark matter, what have you, or ultraviolet energy, what have you, whatever you want to call it. So, that being said, if you're on this planet, you should respect melanin or carbon or whatever, regardless of whose body it's in. So, regardless of what shade you are, you got to really realize what you're doing with your own melanin, with your own carbon. What are you creating? What are you expending it on? A lot of people are using it frivolously. A lot of people expend it just to process semi-solids and other drugs. So, what are you sacrificing your melanin for? What are you sacrificing your carbon for? At a raw level, what are you giving your sexuality up to? So, that's where a huge leakage in energy is. We can harness that energy and take back our sexuality, especially so-called black people. These melanated people on Earth were to take back their sexuality. The sensation of this entire place the vigor of this entire place would come back, and the people, anybody that, you got to understand with evolution that it's a process that it may not look, as far as getting back to what is pleasant, some things may be, from the observer, from the detached perspective, unpleasant. Like you see a situation where you have cancer, autism, Alzheimer's, these things. These type of things are, everyone that's dying is supposed to be dying. So as we get rid of the white foods and take our sexuality back, everyone needs to get back in touch with their own melanin, with their own carbon, whatever, regardless. That is the creative grapevine that connects us all. So as we get away from white foods, meaning white sugar, bleached white flour, and many other things that are like, we'll get rid of the worms. We will get rid of the worms of the earth. It has to manifest externally. So I think my brother's back, and as y'all know, my brother is black, like most of my family. He on that ZX14, that Hayabusa killer. You can hear it. Anyway, so I couldn't do this video in front of him, none of my family, so I had to do it really quickly because I know it could be taken crazily just from the title. So regardless, when we talking about taking back or getting back in touch with the melanin, the creative grapevine that where all creation stems from, or we're all, again, every creation and reaction have the same letters. So every creation has a reaction. And so whenever you see something like an uprising, like what you might see in Baltimore right now, is no different than the Haitian slaves uprising years ago, causing such a stir in Haiti to where the French had to expend so many resources to where they had to sell. Louisiana Purchase happened. They had to sell off to the other colonists, because again, you got to realize it was a war here. It's always been a war here, British or whatever. It's a familial war, and that's what you got. That's how you got to understand the families of the earth. And that's how if you look at it in a sense of it's very easy if you look at it in the sense of the three: Mongoloid, Negroid, and Caucasoid. But beyond that, you can break it down and dissect it into further families, however you want to look at it. So it's all just a snake eating its own tail, and we're all just sacrificing the melanin or the creative energy to satisfy the sensory body, and for comfort, to satisfy the sensations, and to eat out of emotional needs, and at this point it's a chemical addiction, of course, but once it's understood and you can observe your own behavior and look at your own cycles, then you can change it. So take back the sexuality, get away from the white foods, then the worms will die. Diatomaceous earth, red clover, black walnut, dandelion root, burdock, yellow dock. Um, it's so many things, but those are critical. Saw palmetto, sarsaparilla, and for all the people that don't want to take it from a pale face like this one, just check out Dr. Sebi, Sebi, or Dr. Africa with a K. There's plenty out there. Or if you're supposedly light skinned and Phil Valentine, it's plenty of people that you can get comfortable with hearing the same message because it's all coming from the melanin.